Hello again, this is Merv Daugherty, Superintendent of Schools for Chesterfield County. Thanks for joining us again for another segment of videos getting back to school. We are extremely excited about the 2021-22 school year. It should be an exciting year for us. We know we have challenges. We know there are 10,000 employees coming back, 63,000 students coming back. It's basically everyone for the first time. But we are so excited to do face-to-face instruction in the school buildings. Today I have the great opportunity to have a brief discussion with our school board chair, Mr. Ryan Harter for the Matoaca Districts. Ryan, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So just a couple questions for our viewers, and just a reminder that all of our departments and school board members are doing quick videos just to help you understand the importance of this school year and how we're ready for it. So what are opportunities you see for our students coming back to school?
So I think one of the biggest opportunities is that you have the ability to come back 5 days a week, full-time, if you choose. There's also the opportunity for students who wish to remain virtual for them to remain virtual. I think that this is the work that staff has done to get us to this point has been, it's unmatched, and really I'm excited. There's going to be a whole host of other opportunities. Students are going to be able to participate in sports again. We're looking at getting clubs, extracurricular activities going again. We really want this school year to be as normal as possible. We know that there's still going to be some precautions and safety measures that we need to take in the light of the concerns that we still have of the pandemic. However, I'm very excited to get these students back, and I think that they're going to have a much more enjoyable year this year.
I'm extremely excited to see the marching bands out at games, the choruses and choirs performing, the show choirs having opportunities, and jazz bands, and just all the performing arts having the opportunity to get back to a normal setting pre-pandemic. So it's going to be an exciting year for us, we think. So what about parents? What do you see for parents and opportunities?
So I think some opportunities for parents are going to be to start to slowly become involved again with some of the activities eventually that we're doing in the schools. I think parents are going to be able to have a bit more of a predictable schedule this year with students in schools. And I think that you're ultimately going to see the kids a lot happier because you're really returning them to almost as normal environment as we were pre-pandemic. So I think parents are, the opportunities are really going to be day and night from last year. I think your children are really going to be a lot more upbeat, and some of the things that we sometimes take for granted we don't realize until we're put in a situation where some of that stuff is constrained, like we've had to go through the last year and a half. So I think for parents, the opportunities it's going to be a great year.
Yeah, and I think on that line with parents having an opportunity joining their PTO or PTAs to be involved, to volunteer. Format the same volunteering. You just have to sign up with the form to help volunteer. I know the schools will be looking for that, either inside the building or outside the building, even with helping our kids get on the buses or getting off the buses. I know our schools really appreciate our parent volunteers, and the opportunity that they will have to be involved in the clubs and programming and the activities that their children are in, that they're involved with, the sports booster clubs, the band booster clubs, things of that manner. So the opportunity for more parent engagement, we're really excited to have. And when you think about our kids coming back to school, we have worked very hard with our social emotional learning opportunities, our health counseling opportunities, our mental health counseling. And so our staffs are preparing to make sure that they meet all of the needs, just not the academic needs, but all of the needs of our students as we move forward into the school year. And speaking of schools, our staff members, what do you see some opportunities for our staff?
So opportunities for staff is to have a more predictable schedule for this year, to be able to see the bright and smiling faces of our students when they return, to be able to build those relationships, and to really begin to get back to the foundations and of really what education is. And I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunities throughout the year for growth. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for really reflection and to look back on how they've persevered over this year and a half. Staff has been instrumental to how this past year and a half has gone. They've stepped up to every challenge that we've asked them to. They've taught both face-to-face and virtual simultaneously. We really want to be able to provide them with a more predictable schedule. So I was really elated this year to find out as we went through the planning stages that we would have students that are face-to-face and separate teachers for that virtual portion, so that we don't have teachers that are having to manage both classrooms. So I'm really excited. I think staff's going to be a lot happier this year when we come back.
And great point about the virtual. And parents, if you decide you want to start the school year on August 23rd in the virtual setting, at any time you may move your child back into the school building, into the face-to-face environment. We've opened that opportunity to make sure those seats are still available for your children, even though they're in a virtual academy. So just keep that in mind as we go through the year, and you get more comfortable with the school system, that they could come back in face-to-face in the classroom and be around classmates. And also, you know that virtual students can participate in activities as well, because they're still assigned to their home school. So Matoka District, a lot goes on there, and since I've been here for 3 years, it's an unbelievably large school district.
It is.
It spreads from one end of the county to the other. So give us some news about Matoka.
So it'll take you 40 minutes to drive from one end of Matoka to the other. This last year and a half there's been growth in Matoka, especially the western part. But we've had a lot of good things happen. We've been able to open a new Matoka Elementary School earlier this year. Yesterday, we cut the ribbon on Ettrick Elementary School, on a rebuild of Ettrick Elementary School. And Mosley Elementary School they're coming along over there. We're looking forward to next year cutting the ribbon on that. So the growth in the county that we're seeing in the Matoka district, the schools and the structures are really starting to come along to make sure that we're keeping pace with that. Besides for that, in the Matoka district, we've had a lot of great things happen. The bookmobile, which goes through every district, but we unveiled that through FACE a couple weeks ago. That's really exciting, and looking forward to maybe sometime throughout this next year, as we start to get things back into the fold, that we start to have some decisions that are outside of what we've had to deal with for the last year and a half, that will have more opportunities for feedback from members from the Matoka district, and maybe even looking at doing town halls, things of that nature. Some things that we haven't really had the chance to do, and some of the outreach we haven't had a chance to do over the past year and a half.
Right. Yeah, and when you think about all the success that's going on in our school district, but the amount of growth that's continually moving us forward and working in partnership with the Board of Supervisors, understanding that there's a CIP coming, a bond referendum coming, hopefully in 2022, to where we are going to be building additional schools, rebuilding some schools, but adding some middle schools and looking at a high school and looking at elementary schools, because we are growing. If you live anywhere out 360 and in Matoka especially, you are seeing the amount of growth that's occurring, and we're excited for that opportunity in a partnership. And I think we've been very productive, and we've been good stewards of the county's and taxpayers' money, making sure our schools were ahead of schedule and below budget. And I think that's an important piece that you don't see almost anywhere else in the country, especially in Virginia, when we come on time or ahead of schedule and look at being below the budget main. So I think that's been exciting for us to do.
Yeah, it's been truly amazing, and I think that the work that we've done collaboratively with our counterparts in the county, hopefully in the next couple of days we'll have some good news of as we move forward about additional schools, maybe some locations of additional schools. But for a while, people in that end of the county have been, we've been looking at Tomahawk Creek, and we've been looking at Bailey Bridge, and the population continues to grow. The number of students continues to grow. So we do know that we have a need for additional middle schools, and even for another elementary or so, and eventually to be looking at a high school location. I'm really glad that the ball has been rolling the last year, and really want to thank members of the Board of Supervisors for working with us on this. And like I said, hopefully some good news here in the near future.
And with the support of the board and the Board of Supervisors, we've been looking at the learning cottages, the trailers that you see at schools, and very concerned about safety. And so we've went to several schools where there were several trailers and put mega trailers in to make it more secure, more safe for our students. As we continue to grow, I don't think that our other trailers are going to be gone anytime soon. I think the amount of growth that's occurring is running faster than we can build. But we just want you to know that we are considering and always thinking about the safety and security of our students. Cameras in the buildings, inside and out, door swipes to access to get in the building, cameras for entrance. So I think we are continually working and thinking about this every day, about safety and security for our schools. Yeah. So before we close out, Mr. Harter, is there anything you'd like to say to the students and the parents about we're coming back to school?
Yeah, I'm really excited to get them back. I'm excited for the students. I'm also excited for the parents. As I am a parent of 4 students, I would like to say welcome back. I'm very excited to have you guys back, and I know that staff is very excited to have you back. And I know that your parents are going to be excited to have you back as well. I think that this year is going to be great. It's going to be very refreshing from what we've had to deal with the last year and a half. There's got to be a lot of great stuff that's happened this year. So I do want to give a special thanks to all of our senior staff for their planning that's gone into this. I'd like to give a big thank you to all of our teachers and our building level administrators for getting us to this point. But I'd also like to thank parents, and I'd like to thank the students. And I think this year is going to be exciting. We're ready to have you back.
Right, I would agree. So just a reminder, on Monday, August 23rd, pre-K through grade 6 and then 9 will start school. And then on the Tuesday, August 24th, all students report to their assigned schools. We're excited to have you back. We're looking forward to a great school year. We're going to work with you, work with the students, work with our staff to make this a great educational opportunity and a learning environment that promotes respect, the integrity of students, and the knowledge of capacity building as we move forward. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on August 23rd.